Hey there, we just picked up this KFI 2,500 pound ATV winch, and we wanted to share with you an unboxing, show you what's in the box, and maybe kind of describe a little bit the application that we're going to use it for, and then also a little bit about how we're going to install this. We recently picked up this Yamaha Timberwolf ATV, and we're actually got to have our own homestead, and we're going to be doing some timber framing. So primarily we're actually going to be using this winch to pull logs around once they're trimmed to length, maybe to put them on a trailer and move them over to our property. So without further ado, let's get to the unboxing on the KFI winch. We picked this up for just under $200. They're right in that market there. They're a little bit cheaper than a comparable Warren winch, and the reviews seem to be pretty positive. The only thing is that they're not really a submersible winch. So if you're going to do a lot of mudding or bogging, you probably don't want to go with this guy. Look for something that's got a better rating for submersibleness. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. And again, this is a 2,500 pound winch. And let's take a look in here. What attracted us to this winch primarily was the affordability and the capacity. We did a little bit of calling around, and you can find name brand winches from Yamaha, Honda, likewise for nearly double what we paid for this guy. Warren, you can figure on paying around $380 to $400 for a similar winch. And this is pretty much a complete set built for a four-wheeler. Comes with a thumb control and everything. So let's see here. Oh. So here's the big guy. Let's see. Comes in a plastic bag. Definitely got some weight to it. I've not felt any of the other winches, but this one definitely has got some mass to it. So I wouldn't say it's a super light winch, but when you're winching, I guess you want strong over light. This one comes with a cable, not a synthetic cable, but a steel cable, stainless steel. On the end here, we got our free spool, so you can simply pull it out and then engage so that it's hooked on. Let's see, this one has terminals on the end here, and I read something online that there's a way that you can actually rotate this so that the terminals are left and right instead of up and down, because sometimes when you're wiring them in, they interfere with your mount or your frame. So there's a way to do that, but I think you have to contact KFI. I got a nice cast hook on here. What else about it? Mounting bolts are on the bottom. It's got a 4-bolt mount. And it actually comes with a mounting plate, I'm pretty sure, that mounts to that. And then what you do is you actually mount the mounting plate to whatever you're trying to install it on. So you don't actually mount the winch directly to your ATV. It goes on a mounting plate. And the reason for that is it has a fair lead roller. So you want to put that on the mounting plate to relieve stress on the cable. So there's the winch. And I'll set it right over here, kind of where we're going to put it later. So let's put it back. Till we empty the box a little bit, and then I'll put it back up here. Let's see. So there's the fair lead roller system, and you have up and down and left and right. And again, this mounts, let's see. Yeah, here you go. So here's the mounting plate. And I believe the 4 external holes here are for mounting the winch to the mounting plate. And then they leave you with 4 holes in the shape of a diamond to actually mount this to something. And then the front flange here, you can see it's got a flange there. This is actually for mounting the fair lead rollers. Mounts just like that. Comes with hardware, so once that's mounted up, you mount the winch to the plate. You pretty much got everything lined up perfectly. So that's how to do that. So it's supposed to come with a contactor block, so that basically you wire from your battery to the contact block, from the contact block to the winch, and from the switch to the contact block. So very simple wiring system. You see what's in here. Looks like this is all the wiring. Well, not all of the wiring. So these are the terminals that'll go from your probably winch to the contact block, battery to the contact block, and that looks like it might go from the winch to the contact block too. So we'll have to do a little bit of sorting out on these. They're not great labeling. They've got color coding, so I'm sure in the instructions it tells you, but doesn't tell you right on the wires. So you got 3 sets of wiring there. And then a little bit more wiring here. And this is the thumb switch. So it comes with this in the package, primarily for an ATV. I believe they do have a wired remote that you can plug in. That's not included in this particular kit. So that switch is included. A small branded braided tassel there for the hook on there. So you can put that on there, easier to pull it out when you're free spooling. Looks like the nuts and bolts for mounting the switch to your handlebars. Uh-oh, I think I already ripped a hole in it. So they know you're gonna need zip ties, so they include a bunch of those. Half of them are still in the box, so looks like they include quite a few of those. I'll have to fish those out later. Put all this wiring back in here. Then I'm guessing, okay, so you got your user manual and all your hardware. Looks like they include the bolts to mount the winch, and then the fair lead rollers, and then some also to mount the switch there. So complete hardware kit. For custom stuff, you're probably going to need to fish out your own. And then here is the contact block. So all right, so there's where the color coding comes in. There was a blue, a red, and a yellow. And you have to find a place to mount this guy. And this is probably going to be your switch. And then these are going to be the leads coming from your ground and to your winch, and then from your battery. So includes that contact block. That simplifies the controlling of the unit quite a bit. You could probably do your own wiring on that, but why complicate things? And I think this particular one is actually designed to wire into your ignition, so that the ignition has to be on in order for the winch to work, which is kind of cool. That way somebody doesn't decide to come by and start monkeying with your winch when the key or the ignition is turned off. So if you don't want that, well, you might want to look around or work around on this one. So that's in the box. Put all that away here. I think that's about everything. So that's the 2,500 pound winch. We went with that particular rating because we know we're gonna have to move, even though this ATV is pretty small, probably 400 pounds, maybe 450 pounds, we're gonna be moving some pretty heavy objects. We're probably gonna end up having to tether the ATV to a tree or something like that, and before we can really winch that heavy of an object. But it's gonna save our backs, and it'll help us to maneuver these logs as we're moving them around the property. So that'll be our primary use, but then we might do some off-roading and hunting and other things like that. So this will probably help us get in and out of some difficult spots. Let me see here. So I picked up at the local hardware store, they have a 2-inch receiver mount for this thing. So if you have one of the newer ATVs that actually has a trailer hitch, it's a pretty simple mounting system. I think it's around $60. We don't have that, and we'd have to pay quite a bit. I think, I don't even know that they make a mounting system for this particular ATV. It just is a little bit too old, or maybe it wasn't popular enough or whatever. So what I did was actually went down to one of the local do-it-best hardware stores, and they had some plate steel. It's 1/4-inch plate. This is a 12-inch piece. And it just so happens that the rack system on the quad is such that I should be able to sandwich the rack system between these two plates. And I'm going to mount the mounting plate to these plates. So then we can move it from front to rear on the quad by just removing the sandwich plates, putting them in the rear, and that way we can actually use it front or rear. So I think I paid about $10 for one of these, but if you're watching this video and you're big on winches, you probably have some 1/4-inch steel laying around. If not, your local do-it-best hardware store should have something similar to this. So that's a little bit about that winch and what we're going to do with it. Again, we purchased it for just under $200. They're available online. If you want to pick one up, you can save a little bit. I think we bought locally. You probably save a little bit buying online. I think we might have paid a little bit more, maybe $20, $10, $20 more than you can buy them for online. We'll include a link in this video or below this video so you can pick that up or take a look at it if you'd like. I believe there's a 1-year warranty on those, so if you have a problem, you can always return it. And from everything I've read, reviews and the company that we bought our winch from. They said that their customer service is fantastic. In fact, I think there's a piece of paper in there that actually tells you right where to call if you have problems with the winch. So that's just a little unboxing of this particular winch. Once we get it mounted up and we get a chance to use it a little bit, we'll do a review. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video and you're interested in an off-grid homestead journey, please follow us on our blog. It's purelivingforlife.com. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be posting more videos in the future as we go along. And then we also do mini posts on Facebook and Instagram. So if you like those channels, you can follow us over there and stay tuned. There's a lot of fun stuff going on over there that we don't post on YouTube or on the blog. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.